Well,
Go ahead.
Tom Pelissero seems to disagree that they remain unwilling to discuss QB Deshaun Watson with other teams, some of whom have resorted to leaving voicemails with trade offers, per sources. One of their voicemails full. One of their voicemails full. Watson spoke briefly to Coach David Culley recently. Yep. But the two still haven't met in person. Houston not budging. Oh, BKB. Dan Graziano and Adam Schefter have been tweeting as well, per sources. He met with Texans head coach David Culley last Friday. In that meeting, he reiterated that he wants to be traded and told Culley he has no intention of playing for the Texans again. No change from Watson's end. He remains dug in. So, we have a Mexican standoff here. That's what we have. The game of Texans Hold'em, or Texans Hold Him, continues. So, I mean, hey.
You just cracked your knuckles?
I've said enough. I did. I've said enough. Maybe I'll weave some more, guessing in there in a minute. What's your thoughts now that the word's out that they've talked?
Mike, you've been all over this. So good job. That was on Tuesday, and you laid it out pretty methodically. The only thing I disagree with you on, something you said on Tuesday, I don't think it's going to happen, but everything else I think is spot on. You think that J.J. Watt and Deshaun Watson are going to the same place? I don't think so. I think J.J. Watt's going to go his own way, especially if he can get that all that money on the table. He can get like $15, $16 million a year. He's not going to go to the same place that Deshaun Watson goes to. But I want to focus on Watson.
Well, especially,
I want to go.
Sorry, just to interject real quick. Real quick. Especially if the Texans insist on dragging this thing out, JJ might not want to wait much longer.
Can't wait.
So, yeah, but go ahead.
Or maybe we go with where J.J. Watson goes. That might be the tip on where Deshaun Watson's going. Because Deshaun Watson can say, look, I'm going to this team. So go ahead. Go ahead. And where Watt goes, that's where Watson's going. But anyway.
Now you're thinking.
Hey. But you know what, Mike? I think what stands out to me is the Houston Texans are just a bad franchise. And I'm going to say specifically, because I know a lot of people say that, but I'm going to specifically tell you why they're a bad franchise. You ever argue with somebody and then they get across to you? They say something that you want to agree with. You actually want to say something nice to them, but they just, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. No, stop talking. You can't even reason with them. You got to tell them, look, I got something good for you. Why are you fighting me on this? I'm going to tell you something that you want to hear. And the Texans right now, you are doing a bad job. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's Cal McNair. I don't know if it's Jack Easterby. I don't know if it's Nick Caserio. I don't know if it's Culley. I don't know if it's all of them. I don't know if it's two of them. Whoever you are, you're doing a bad job for the Houston Texans if you refuse to listen to 31 other teams in the league. Now, I know it's not 31 other teams, but let's say 15 teams. If 15 teams in the league are calling you to talk about a trade for Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson has told you he doesn't want to play for you, you are not serving the franchise by ignoring those phone calls. Mike, if I've got an asset, and I'm in an industry where half of the people or a third of the people in that industry want the asset that I have, but that asset's not going to work for me, got to work for somebody else, I'm being negligent. I'm being stubborn, inflexible, if I'm not going to open that up and say, all right, it's not going to work for us.
Expense.
I wish it had worked out.
Yeah.
But it's time to move forward amicably with Deshaun Watson.
That's
again,
I've used this phrase so many times. I've used this phrase so many times when it comes to this franchise. They're cutting off their nose to spite their face. They're trying to prove a point. We gonna trade you when we're good and ready. So here's the thing. They're going to trade him. But they may not trade him, and it doesn't look good if you believe the reports. I'm going to stand by what I think I know, okay? Which is that Maybe they ain't returned the calls, but they've checked their voicemail. I don't think their voicemail's full. Maybe they've left a lot of these texts on red, but they got them. Okay? Because, again, they continue to underestimate how dug in Deshaun is. You know, and I know I'm biased, but it's like, he is not going to play there. He will end up sitting if he has to. That's going to happen if that's what it comes down to. He's not going to put on a uniform. Those pictures, that's the last you're going to see of Deshaun Watson in the Texans uniform. That's it. He's not playing for them. And they keep acting like this is somebody who just needs some time to cool off, that he's going to change his mind, that David Culley sweet-talking him and whispering sweet nothings in his ear is going to make him change his mind. He told David Culley, this ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm not playing here anymore. So that's that. So the Texans have a choice. They can do this the easy way or the hard way, and clearly they want to do this the hard way. So, okay, we're going to do it the hard way. They're going to end up trading him, but it's going to be after they punish him, because that's how they're wired. Instead of doing the right thing, doing the best thing for all parties involved. Because who the hell wants somebody? Yeah, who wants somebody there that doesn't want to be there? Like, I mean, that's just how I operate. Like, you don't want me here, well, I don't want to be here. And if I don't want to be here, why would you hold him hostage? What good does that do you? You could play that game with a cornerback. You could play that game with an offensive tackle. You could play that game with a wide receiver. You cannot play that game with the face of your franchise. Well, the face of your franchise, Michael Holley. The face of your franchise cannot wear a frown. The face of your franchise cannot wear a scowl. The face of your franchise cannot have wandering eyes for Miami or San Francisco. The face of your franchise has got to be in. It's got to be at the same vision as you do. You're not doing yourself any favors by not trading him before the draft, but they're going to mess around and they're going to they want to be the Bengals. They're going to pull a Carson Palmer. They're going to test him, and they're going to end up trading him who knows when all these picks that the Dolphins have waiting for him ain't available. So, anyway.
Yeah, I think you got to read the room. You got to read not the room. Well, yeah, you have to read the room. The room is telling you Deshaun Watson wants to go, but you also have to read the atmosphere. And the atmosphere right now is that a guy like Deshaun Watson has the talent. Now, he has the talent to bring you 3 first-round picks, if not more, and other players. I know Peter King put out that scenario the other day of, hey, this is what it might take. But you've got this guy, and you've got some teams at the top of the draft who can give you exactly what you lack. And I'm thinking of the Texans fan. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for a Texans fan for a couple of reasons. Because they're stuck in the middle of this fight. You know, there's a divorce, and they're stuck in the middle of the divorce. No matter whose side you take, it's not a good side. You're taking the side of the Texans, but the Texans are not moving forward. They're stuck. Something needs to happen, but the Texans say, we're going to stay here, and we're just going to grit our teeth. And Deshaun Watson, yes, he agreed to a contract extension with the franchise, but now he wants out, and they won't let him go. And if you're a Houston Texans fan, you know what's going to happen in the 2021 season? I'm going to tell you right now. You were 4-12 last year. You might have a slightly better record, but you're going to be the same kind of team, if not worse. J.J. Watt's gone. Deshaun Watson's not going to be there. Your team didn't make any moves to improve your draft position, which they could have. So you might win 5 games, maybe. But you really already, I'm going to go on record and say it. I say it with confidence. I said it. I meant it. I'm here to represent it. The 2021 NFL season for the Houston Texans is a waste. You already punted. Yeah. Punt on first down right now. It's over.
Like they're holding him hostage.
Is no good.
They're holding him hostage and really themselves. Like, because if he's, do they just think he's going to, like, just, you know what it is, man? It goes back to, and it's funny, you know, there was just this huge article from ESPN, my man Seth Wickersham and Don Van Natta, about DeMaurice Smith, which maybe we get into before the week's over. Well, it's almost Friday, but point is,
the week's over.
You know,
tomorrow.
This big thing about you know, inside his CBA negotiations over the years and his relationship and reputation between the players and the league. But I only bring it up to say it's like NFL teams and owners, they always just assume that players are just going to cave. They're bought and sold. Like, oh, well, you have a contract. You want your money, right? We hold the cards. We got you right where we want you. You're gonna play for us or nobody. We own you. It's like this dude he ain't wired like that. This is not a holdout. This is not somebody who, Deshaun Watson came from nothing. This money ain't going in his head. Like, he's not sitting around saying, oh man, you know what? I'm just gonna see if they'll let me go. See, here's the difference. He ain't Russell Wilson. This ain't Russell Wilson. This ain't, well, I want to play here, but if a trade were considered, this ain't that. This ain't
right.
this ain't that. This ain't, I'm gonna just throw a temper tantrum, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna show up hat in hand and do my job. That's not what's going down here. And the sooner they come to grips with that, and I believe they know that. I believe they continue to posture at this point. This is my strong belief. With all due respect to everybody's reporting, I believe that they're doing their internal due diligence and they're having their conversations. They didn't hang up the phone with Deshaun Watson and eventually start returning calls. That's not what they did. They didn't hang up with Deshaun Watson and eventually start returning calls. They're figuring out right now, okay, how are we going to spend this? How are we going to play this? How are we going to swallow our pride and do what's best for the franchise? Because, Michael, as you, me, and everybody else have pointed out, they could make a killing off of this deal. They could make a killing off of this.
They will do it.
They can make a killing. Miami will give them all their picks back. Miami will give them Tua, their picks back, and more for Deshaun Watson tomorrow. That deal is there tomorrow. They could sit up
and do you think the Jets, would the Jets do it? Would the Jets make a move?
I think the Jets would entertain it. I don't think that the Jets will want to go too far. I don't think the Jets are as gung-ho as Miami. And also, Deshaun is not as high on the Jets as some may have believed, and some being me at one point. I don't think the Jets are as high on his list. He's got the no trade clause. I don't think the Jets are high on his list as some others. I think it's Miami. What?
When did Quentin Williams become a part of this trade?
I think that was the Peter King one. That was the Peter King proposal.
Okay, that's asking for a bunch. But I know we disagree on this. You feel like anybody, no matter what the trade is, no matter what you give up for Deshaun Watson, you win the trade. And I actually think I
understand the Texans. I understand the Texans'
I think that's the case
reluctance.
with the Miami deal. That they
could.
What's that? Because Miami, and if you could put it up there, Gary, all the picks in that Peter King proposal for Miami.
Yep.
Tua,
Christian
Wilkins,
Tua,
and then number 3 overall. After that, I just fall asleep. Because that's the gist of it. Because when you talk about 2022 and 2023, we got Deshaun Watson. We'll be all right. We got Deshaun Watson with help. We got help around him, which the Texans did.
A limited passing game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
I think your best bets.
22, 23 picks won't be that great.
I think your best bets are probably Miami and San Francisco. Everybody else is kind of like, whether it's Carolina, Denver, there are a lot of other teams in the mix, but it's incredible that they would sit here and try to prove a point when they have an opportunity to reboot their franchise. I'm sorry. I'm just to have somebody that clearly does not want to be there. Like, how does that serve you? Go ahead. I'm sorry. You about to say something?
Well, I was going to ask you a quick question. So I saw you pointing to your head when I was talking about the J.J. Watt. Hey, where J.J. Watt goes, maybe Deshaun follows. So do you still feel like J.J.'s going to Miami?
It's possible. It might not be that nice and neat. I'm just saying that there is a relationship there that was forged through fire, shall we say? But if the Texans make it difficult and won't release Deshaun, obviously JJ's got to do what's best for JJ. But I think ideally, JJ would love to see where Deshaun Watson goes. And if it's someplace like if it is Miami, then JJ's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's make this happen. Let's make it happen, Captain. because Miami ain't exactly cash or cap strapped either. Again, I could see I understand the Texas reluctance, but the same reason we're talking about people giving up the farm to get him, I get them not wanting to start over at that position. But like, this ship has sailed, man. This ship has sailed.
I was gonna say it's not. It's not a 1-2 situation.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.